How did Russia end up owning one of Long Island's largest estates? And better yet, what happened to it? Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we are discovering Killenworth, the former home of George DuPont Pratt. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1869, George DuPont Pratt was born into one of the wealthiest families in the US. His father Charles made a fortune in petroleum, first through his own ventures and then through a consolidation with Standard Oil. This provided the family with more money than they could ever spend, but that didn't stop them from trying. The Pratts began building some of the largest homes on Long Island, and when it was George's turn to build his own house, he had grand plans. He purchased an older house known as Killenworth, a proper cottage that was elegant in its own right. But it wasn't this house that he wanted, it was the land it sat on. George promptly had it demolished, giving himself a blank slate to imagine his dream home. Completed in 1913 and designed by architects Trowbridge and Ackerman, Killenworth was conceived not merely as a residence, but a living work of art. The mansion's facade of seam-faced granite, complemented by Indiana limestone and topped with Vermont slate, presented a striking blend of solidity and grace. As we begin rotating about the 39-room mansion, we find a series of terraces marked by stone balustrade. Some of these terraces lend themselves to grand staircases, which in turn lead to paths. Following these paths will take you all about the property, where you will discover park-like meadows, perfectly manicured lawns framed by parterre gardens, and still ponds, all adding to the air of serenity. George was known to be athletic, so some spaces were left open so that he could enjoy playing football or other sports, though the activities he enjoyed were definitely done in style. To free up time for his leisure, a small army of 50 groundskeepers shuffled about, ensuring that every blade of grass was always the perfect length. When plants would wither, George would never know, as replacement flowers would be waiting for planting in the greenhouses. As we stumble through the wooded areas, we emerge on a large pool. This is in fact the swimming pool. We can turn around at this point to see the house coming back into focus with yet another terrace to explore. Up here we find the tea house, offering some of the best views on the estate. Its arcades frame this viewshed of Long Island Sound, where sailboats would gracefully glide by all day long. We can zoom out from here to see how the main bulk of the estate comes together, getting a general sense of where the house is in relation to the gardens and everything we've seen so far, though we still haven't seen every face of the house. As we make our way towards the front door, we'll travel through the garden. Then we'll pass by the garage and cut up a path towards the front. For as grand as the mansion might be from this angle, the landscaping really hides just how truly massive this house is. The double doors are where we're headed, somewhat understated below a large bay of stained glass windows accented by Gothic tracery. To better orient ourselves as we explore the mansion, let's take a quick look at the floor plan, noting that we are entering at the landing, then taking the stairs to the entrance hall. I unfortunately don't have a clear picture of the landing other than this one, but this section right here might better illustrate how the landing and entrance hall are connected. Now that we've traveled to the entrance hall, we are basically in the center of the house with archways on each wall that will lead us to different rooms. Let's continue straight for now. This leads us to the gallery, clad in rich wood paneling boasting intricate relief work. The gallery connects to the living room, once again paneled in dark rich woodwork that now continues to clad the coffered ceiling. Here he displays some of his most prized artwork, including a European tapestry. Before we move on from this room, let's take a closer look at the fireplace's mantel, where we find fleur-de-lis among the decorative relief. The living room terminates in the solarium, where we find everything from bronze peacocks above the doors to tropical plants being grown here year-round. If we cut back through the living room, we'll find the all-white music room, daring to contrast all the heavy woodwork we've seen throughout so far. The music room connects to the hall, where we catch only the slightest glimpse of the study. This puts us back in the entrance hall, facing a different archway which will lead us to another wing of the mansion. Stepping through the archway takes us to the hall. On one side is the door to the pantry with a staircase leading to the kitchen, and in front of us are the double doors leading to the dining room. The dining room is the largest room in the house, once again clad in rich wood paneling, but this time introducing a Jacobean ceiling. Here we find a large bay of stained glass facing the front of the house, as well as another antique European tapestry hung proudly on the wall. As we lean closer in to see the details, I want to point out the window seats to either side of the fireplace, a rather cozy feature for such a formal space. Up on the second floor, given the sheer number of bedrooms, we'll just take a quick look at George's, then move along. Following Killenworth's completion, it was named Country Life in America's Best House of the Year. Everything from the facade to the layout to the gardens were praised for their excellence in design. But when the house finally changed hands, accolades turned into skepticism. After George Pratt's passing in 1935, Kenilworth began a new and unexpected chapter. By the late 1940s, the property was acquired by the Soviet Union as a retreat for its United Nations delegation. Its serene grounds turned into a diplomatic enclave, sparking decades of local controversy and stories that swirled with allegations of espionage. As the decades passed, the estate became even more embroiled in conspiracies as it welcomed controversial guests, including Fidel Castro. The Russians claimed tax exemption, which led to a long legal dispute and several court battles, and to this day, Killenworth remains under the ownership of the Russian delegation. As for the grounds and the interior, it's anyone's best guess if they remain intact or have been altered. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about Killenworth? Did you have a favorite room or feature? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.